7 listed on the sidecar list. In fact, no, we've still got the previous class up there. We've got 6 listed there, 5 starters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starters there. So the sidecars race in the other direction simply because they're all what are they called? Left-hand sidecars, where the sidecar passenger sits on the left. Well, there's not much sitting going on actually, if you have a close look at it. In the old days in New Zealand, in fact, there's still no regulation to say that sidecars have to be on a certain side for road racing. I suspect with Speedway, because they only go in one way, that they've got to have their sidecar on the left. But I know in New Zealand road racing, I've never seen, there is no rule that says which side you've got to have it. And you can imagine the characteristics of a sidecar cornering on a left-hand corner and a right-hand corner are quite different. Certainly the apex speeds and all that. I know when I was watching sidecar racing in the 70s and even as late as the early 80s, we had both left and right hand ones, and it's quite interesting when you've got the sidecars. A lot of them will skid and slide. In this situation with the left hand sidecars, they'll get a lot more skiddy on the right hand corners, but if you've got a bike doing skids and a passenger hanging out amongst you, it was quite an interesting sort of theory. And of course, in the big sidecars, you've got a lot of different size engines. 2-stroke and 4-stroke were still merged in back in those days. It was quite hectic. But right now, here on the day, we've got all left-hand sidecars. There is another difference there between front and rear exit sidecars. And the one going through the start-finish line at the moment is actually a front exit. And this means the passenger has got to get out ahead of the sidecar wheel and do that. So when they get back in to go for the other corner, they've got to come back into the centre. Instead of going straight over to the other side, they've actually got to step back or move back on the sidecar and then over to the other side. And you'll see that here, they're going through turn 3 at the moment. So he's front exiting there, the passenger's front exiting there, choosing not to get back in the centre. It must be just too hard, not enough room, real estate, so he just hangs on for dear life as it comes through there. Look at that, the rain coming to our screen. Our window, sorry. It's the first rain we've had since I've been here, so that'll change things a bit, but that's right, it's all part of the fun. So that is the difference between a front and a rear exit sidecar. And about in the mid-1970s, they found out things were getting so fast that the passenger was having trouble getting from across into the centre and then forward and backwards and all that, what I was just talking about, and the dynamics of them changed. They had to, it's all about the steering geometry as well. So who's out there on the track? We've got Brooke Sargent on the lead bike there. I'm just going to flick through to my page where it's got sidecars on, because I'd like to actually know who's who. Brooke Sargent's out there. It takes a little bit of time because some of these are swapped around a little bit. George Vanell there, and they're on bike number 6, and they've had a fastest lap of 1 minute and 0.5 of a second. It'll be interesting to see whether that rain's enough to change the adhesion on the track. I don't quite think so at the moment. It's still not a cold day out there. Need quite a bit of rain to change it all, but they're in first place. Tom Henson is there with William Hopkins there, fielding Ag High School. They're in second place on the bike number 8 there. Roger Emerson is out there with, I think, Ryan Everson on the sidecar. This is what has been listed in the entries. If your name's not right or you've got to change the bikes and that, it's up to you to come up to the timing people or go to the front office and get that changed, because that's the information we're being fed up here. Max Miller is having a bit of fun out there with Samuel. There we go, Max Miller and Samuel Cumming there in 4th place. Joshua Clark with Ryan is on the side. Ryan French there, they're on the 540 machine. And Corbin Robinson and Theo Manley, they haven't started this particular one. We had one sidecar went off the at Toyota. I don't know whether it was a crash or it had actually just broken down, so that may be the one that's absent at the moment. It's one of the blue ones, like the number 43 machine, just going past the start-finish line at the moment. So 3 laps to go. So these are longer races than this morning, it would appear. I can't even remember back that far, but I'm sure the races were a bit slower. Fastest lap, 1 minute and 5. In fact, if we look at it now, the lap time is now 1:01.945. There could be 2 reasons for that. There could be some signalling going on either from the pits or from the passenger, saying that you've got that much of a lead, you don't need to worry about it. Could also be something to do with that rain that's coming down, and for the rain that's coming from the west at the moment, for it to spit onto the window here. It was quite decent sized spits. Obviously you people outside will know it a bit more than me. So yeah, what I'm saying is there's two reasons for it. They've got as fast as they need to go to do what they need to do. It also could be the engine's overheating and not quite putting out the same amount of power in that. But we are going to be coming across some lappers shortly, especially with, it says 3 laps to go, but I suspect that's a little bit less at the moment. 5 laps we've had. So on one screen it says 2 laps to go, on the other screen it says 3 laps to go. And they're both lined up now, 2 and 2. Brooke Sargent still out in the front. So we talked about lap times changing. From memory, the last lap was a 1:01.9. It's now dropped to a 1:01.429. So I guess that's, I certainly wouldn't think there's enough water on the track to even affect the small bikes like this. But number 43, we can see that coming through the infield there on the Ctas footage. Looks like the fairing is actually belling out on the ground. That's not a great thing to have happen, because that might wear the fairing down, but also might catch. And but no doubt they can see that. In fact, the passenger's got a full eye view. You can see those bikes coming onto the front straight. The bike he's following, possibly number 8. Number 8 is their fairing's a bit higher up and not flapping around. Looks to me like the 43 bike has just got such a lightweight fairing and it's lower to the ground. Doesn't quite go round as far to the side, so it might be worth them having a look at that and seeing whether they can improve it. It might be just not a problem at all. A 1:01.888 fastest lap at the moment for Brooke Sargent, as the white flag is now out. It is the final lap of the race. So they've disappeared off into the distance, but there's a great battle going on there for second place between number 8 and number 43. And 8 is Tom Henson and William Hopkins. And we've got the Roger Emerson with Ryan Emerson on the side there. That is opened up there. That was a good battle there going through the infield. But now there's about 25 metres between the first and the second bike. So that should be the... Here comes a checkered flag out. That should be for number 6, but this doesn't look like number 6. In fact, I think that was... Here's the battle for third place. It was the number 6 bike and the number 8 bike was having the battle. All my eyes are out on first place at the moment as Brooke Sargent takes the win there with the second place. Tom Henson, they're doing the driving, and we've got the number 8 machine. I'm confused. That must have been a lapper. Yeah, it was a lapper indeed. So Brooke Sargent and... George Vanell takes the win there, and then Tom Henson and William Hopkins there in second place. Roger Emerson, Ryan Emerson there in third place on the 43 machine, and we should have number 46, which is Max Miller, and Samuel coming there in fourth, with Joshua Clark, Ryan French in fifth place. We've still got 5 bikes out there. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right, folks, that's it. Sidecars done and dusted. That is, I think. We have to look. There's our helicopter. Well, that'll be special if we got one flying over. Yeah, that's the last of the Sidecars today. So the next up is A3 class. Leave you for some peace and quiet, folks. Just actually got to do what we got to do. Probably neglected to do the last race or so. Sidecars brought to you by Eurobike, Wholesale Limited, and Team WASAC. Cheers, folks.